Hey guys, Andrew Marsh here with TrueFit.com. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. In today's video, I'm going to be answering a question that I've been getting quite a bit lately, and it is how do we use aged urine properly? But before I get into how to use it, I first want to talk about how we should store it before we use it, because I think that has a major role on how beneficial it can be. So let me jump right into that. How do we store urine? Well, it's pretty simple. You should only be storing your urine in glass containers and using a lid, or some people use a cloth with a rubber band around it. My only issue with that, and I want to know from you guys if you have done that, does it let a strong scent out? Because if you have smelled aged urine, it's not the most pleasant smell, especially if you're a beginner. I've personally been using it for a while, so I'm kind of immune to the smell now, but if you're a beginner, you're not going to like the smell, so that's why I kind of stick with the lid on top of it. And I've been using these glass containers from Bragg's apple cider vinegar, and these seem to work fantastic. It holds 16 ounces, and just for example, this one's about a month old, so it's starting to get a little bit stronger, starting to build up some of the ormus on the bottom. And then this one is actually nearly a year old, and you can tell from the dark brown color, and if you can see the ormus buildup on the bottom, it's got a pretty strong film on the bottom, and that's the good beneficial stuff that comes about when you age your urine. So what kind of urine should we store? I am a personal advocate on storing your first morning urine, because like I've talked about in my other videos, the first morning urine has the strongest compounds in it and the most abundant compounds and a higher urea content. So it begins to age a lot faster, in my opinion, with more benefits to it. So first morning urine, but you can store the further in the day urines as well. But like I said, I think you can see the most benefit with storing the first morning urine. So before you begin to use the aged urine, when you store it, I want to make this clear too, wait at least 1 week before using it so it can begin to get that good bacteria in it. I think that if you use it the next day or 2 days following the storing of it, you're not going to have that great of benefit as compared to at least waiting 1 week. And there really isn't a timeline, in my opinion, on urine that you can use. I've been doing this for about a year now. This one's nearly a year old, and this is weird to say, but it's kind of like wine, because with time and age, it actually gets better, stronger, more potent, and you'll notice more benefit. With this one that is almost a year old, I notice that when I go out in the sun and put this on afterwards, it really gives my skin a nice tan, glowing look to it. I put it in my hair and it makes it nice, full, and thick, a lot better than fresh urine does. So these are things that you kind of pick up on the way. I'm still learning more on how to use the aged urine, especially internally, and that's what I'm going to talk about next, is how do we consume it internally. In my opinion, like I said, I've never tried it internally, but in my opinion, I think that we should start very slow. Start with maybe 1 drop of it diluted in distilled water. And I want to make this very clear. You need to dilute it with distilled water, not tap water or spring water, because in my opinion, I think that those waters have inorganic minerals in them from the rocks that they run through, or parasites, viruses, fluoride that they put into our tap water. So you really want to stay away from those kind of waters. If you're going to use any kind of water, I recommend distilled or reverse osmosis, because they have the least amount of contaminants in them and are very pure. So like I said, when you do it internally, dilute it and make sure that you gauge how you feel, because some people say they might take too much and there's a major flushing effect. I do not want you, and I repeat, I do not want you to just sit here and drink this by the gulp. Do not do that, because I think that could actually be very harmful to your body, because it is so potent and strong. So start slow, maybe a couple drops or a tablespoon at the most, and then work yourself up from there. Another great resource is Wiley Schmidt. I highly encourage you guys to follow him. He is great on urine therapy overall, but specifically he has a couple videos on consuming aged urine, and he does it in he mixes it with fresh urine in distilled water and uses a syringe for the aged urine to put in there, and dilutes it that way, and he has noticed great benefits as well. The benefits that you will see from using it internally And like I said, I haven't used it, so I can't tell you from my experience. From what I've seen, people have noticed a major boost in energy. They've noticed that they've been able to sleep very deep and have crazy dreams. And another thing that you can use it as is a probiotic. So if you want to stay away from spending $50, $60, $70 for a month's supply of probiotic at your local health food store, use a couple drops of aged urine mixed with distilled water, and I think that you're going to notice better effect than the probiotic you get at your store, because this is your own perfect medicine that you create. So what better probiotic than doing something that you're making with your own DNA? So that's one thing to think about. And then what you might also notice with consuming it internally is you may have a flushing effect on your digestive system. So like I said, start very slow, because you may need to be by the bathroom for a while. If that is the case, I bet it is, because it is so strong. And I can only tell you this because I have consumed morning urine religiously for the past year, and that itself has a strong flushing effect. So I can only imagine what aged urine does. So enough about the internal. That's about the depth that I know. Like I said, follow Wiley Schmidt or do some more research on the topic of consuming aged urine. Some people don't advocate doing it, but some people do. So make the opinion based on the research that you do, and be smart about it. Don't do so much that you hurt yourself. So externally is something that I've been doing for the past year and have noticed major benefits with. And some of the uses you can use it for are going to be things like acne and psoriasis. And what you simply do is put the aged urine. I personally use a dropper. Some people pour it out of the bottle. I think that you kind of waste some that way, so I use a dropper. Make sure I put it on an infected area. If you have acne or a zit somewhere, I put it on there and rub it in. Or if I'm going to bed at night, I'll rub it on my whole face and everything, because I know it's very great for fine lines and wrinkles. So that's another use you can use it for. Cuts, burns, and abrasions. It works very well for that as well. And it's very simple. You can get the dropper, or another thing you can do is soak a gauze pad in the aged urine and keep it wet on there. So you might want to keep reapplying the gauze and keep it on the cut, burn, or abrasion for, I'd say, probably 12 to 24 hours, as much as you possibly can. I know that'll be hard if you have to go to work and whatnot, but keep it on there as much as you possibly can, and you'll notice that it starts to heal a lot faster. So that's another pretty cool benefit. Another one that you could use it as, like I said, a probiotic internally, but you can also use it as a probiotic externally, because a lot of people don't know that our skin actually has a bacteria on it, and when you have things like psoriasis, you actually have a bad bacteria growth on your skin. So really, using aged urine on your skin neutralizes the pH and really allows good bacteria to grow on your skin. And I know a lot of people don't believe that, but do your research and you will find that our skin is an organ that absorbs things, and it needs a healthy bacteria so we can do that. And aged urine, in my opinion, really helps with that. And you'll notice it as well the more you use it, that externally it just gives you a great glow on your skin and looks very healthy. Another way you can use it internally, I didn't touch on this, but nasal and ear remedy. And this is another one you might want to dilute with distilled water, only a couple drops, and use the dropper to put that dilution mix of distilled and aged urine up the nose or in the ears, and cleans out the nasal cavity. And if you have ringing ears, it really helps with that as well. So that's another way you can use it internally. If you actually get sunburnt, if you're on vacation, I know it's going to be hard to have aged urine there, but if you are on vacation, or you go to your local pool, or you've been outside all day at the park, whatever it is, if you get sunburnt pretty bad, you're using fresh urine works very well with sunburns, but using aged urine works extremely well. And through personal experience, because I work outside currently doing landscaping, and when I usually start, I kind of get a small sunburn when I've been out in the sun for about 6 to 8 hours. So what I noticed this year was when I applied the aged urine to my sunburn, the sunburn kind of just went away overnight, and I woke up with a tan, which is really awesome. So you can kind of toss your aloe vera to the side and just use your own urine to really help with sunburns. So it's another added benefit. I've had friends and people tell me that they use it for athlete's foot and fungal issues. I personally haven't had any issues with athlete's foot, but I'm sure if I did, I would be the first to do this. And actually, I'll talk about this a little bit later. Actually, I'll talk about it right now because it's close right there. The football player Chad Johnson, or Chad Ochocinco, has actually been on video saying that he collected urine from his teammates when he was playing with the Cincinnati Bengals. After games, whenever he'd have like a sprained ankle or sore muscles, he would collect their urine and do a soak. And if you do aged urine, it's even better to soak for athlete's foot, fungal issues, sore muscles, or if you sprain an ankle. The aged urine just gets so much stronger and has so much more added benefit, especially when using externally. So it's pretty cool to hear when a professional athlete does something like that. He said that was passed down through his grandma. So that was pretty cool to hear because you probably don't hear that frequently in the professional sports world. Another use externally that I have been using religiously, and I threw away all of my all of my shampoos, conditioners, body soaps, hand soaps, is that you can use aged urine as a soap specifically for shampoo and conditioner. I mean, right now I just woke up and put aged urine in my hair, and it has good body to it right now. I need to get a haircut, but that's beside the point. It is fantastic, and it really holds your hair in place. It kind of works like a gel, but it doesn't make it sticky or nasty or have any chemicals in it. So what I've noticed, the further away I've got from using hair care products, the less mental fog I get, the less headaches, because a lot of those products are laced with so many chemicals that get absorbed through your skin. Because like I was saying earlier, your skin is the largest absorbing organ that we have on our body, so it's only natural that if we put crap products on our skin will absorb those, and I don't think a lot of people know that. I mean, deodorants, women that wear makeup, eyeliner, all that stuff gets absorbed through your skin, so that's something to think about big time when using it on your skin. Aged urine, in my opinion, is the #1 beauty product that we can all be using. Another thing that it works for on your head, baldness or dandruff, and that's pretty simply just pour it on your head. I use a dropper again. I probably always use the dropper with my age so I don't spill it everywhere because, like I said, it has a strong scent and people don't like that. So baldness, dandruff it helps with. I talked about the sore muscles and sprains. Another thing, like I was talking about earlier, I put it on my face before I go to bed to take out age lines or wrinkles, and this is something that a lot of models do as well before they have a runway show or a photo shoot or just daily maintenance. Just put it on your face in the morning and night, and you will begin to notice wrinkles and lines go away on your body, specifically in the face. And the cool thing about putting aged urine on the skin is that it really has no scent. I mean, I just put it on my skin this morning and I really can't even smell it, and that was only about 30 minutes ago. So that's the major benefit, is that you can put it on your skin and there won't be a scent. If you put it on your hair, that's going to be another story. It carries a strong scent with it, so if you're going to do it, you probably want to be alone and let it air out outside for a couple hours. And that's about it, guys. That's all I have for aged urine therapy right now. If you guys have experience with trying this, drop me a comment and let me know how it has benefited your life, whether you're using it internally or externally. If you have specific ways that you use it, I would love to hear from you guys. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll be coming out with more videos like this, so I hope this helps. Thanks, guys.